When I was in Prague in December, I went to this store and saw this amazing blazer with this tassel fringe detailing along the arms and the back, and it was amazing, so cool. But I think it was like a couple of €100 and I wasn't prepared to pay that, so I thought this was something that I could sort of DIY myself. I then spent the rest of the trip in Europe looking for the right blazer to do this with, and I tried on so many, but the colour that I wanted and the fit that I wanted, I was willing to, you know, kiss a few frogs. So I ended up with this vintage one that I got. I'm trying to remember where I got this. I think this must have been in Slovenia. I think I must have got this in Ljubljana. So it's a dark chocolate brown, like it's a really dark brown. So we're gonna upcycle this. I just received the fringe. I ordered this online from House of Adorn. So I've got 5 meters, because I was a bit nervous I wouldn't have enough. 5 meters of this 15 centimeter long fringe tassel. It's a slightly different brown, but I think that's kind of nice. I did think about going for something a bit more fun, a pink, I was thinking, but I wasn't exactly sure how that would fit in to my wardrobe or how I would style that, so I thought keep it in the same colour scheme, and I can always do another one. I love a blazer, so this I think is a really fun way to jazz it up. I don't know if I will sew this with a sewing machine. I'm a little bit nervous. I get a little bit nervous about having to sew with a sewing machine on an already existing piece of clothing garment, because I think you can just stuff it up, like, you know, you can undo it all, but I think I'd quite prefer to hand stitch it. So I think I'm going to set myself up for an afternoon of laying out and pinning the fringe, and then hopefully starting to sew and get that underway. I'm really excited about this. Currently I'm 2 blazers down because I took them to the dry cleaners and there's been all the public holidays, so I'm without blazers in my life, and this one is about to liven up my wardrobe. So yeah. One other thing I forgot to say is I think I'm not a massive fan of the buttons on this blazer. I think I will replace those. These ones are just aesthetic, like they don't actually undo on the sleeves. The other buttons are just bigger versions of the ones from the sleeves. I just don't love them that much. They're also kind of hanging on by a thread, so I will definitely either need to reinforce them just in case, or pick out some new ones. And I've got a stash of buttons, so maybe that is another way to jazz it up a bit. Good morning, it is the next day. I tried to work on this some more last night. It got dark. Working on this dark brown in the dark was hard, and it got to the point where I had to make a decision about what I wanted to do next, and I wasn't ready to make any decisions last night. So we've tacked on some of the fringe. So we've got one arm done, and then over onto the back. And that's looking really, really cool. I'm really happy with that. And then the blazer that I tried on had asymmetrical shoulders. It had the fringe come over the edge of the shoulder here on one side. And I'm just not sure if I want to do that. I did see some other ones online that didn't have the shoulder detail and instead had symmetry with the sleeves and then a front piece of fringe on each side. I just can't decide which way I want to do it. I haven't cut the fringe yet, so it's still attached, which is kind of handy. I can just play about with it a little bit, but yeah, I'm just not sure. And then also with the bit on the front, I can't work out if this is how it's supposed to sit, because that just doesn't look quite right. I think I'm going to do it symmetrical so that I can do the front pieces. I think that would be better. So it's a rainy day. I've got a cup of tea and we're going to see if we can get it done. That would be so satisfying. Okay, so it's much later in the day. I made really good progress with the back piece. So we've got all of the trim sewn on. There's still a bit of something holding the tassels from getting too tangled, so I'll take that off. Take that off shortly, but here's the back. I think that looks amazing. I'm really happy with that. Now I'm going to do some on the front and get to work out how I want that to sit exactly, but something sort of on a curve, I think. Oh, really happy with this. I also went to Spotlight today and got some buttons. They're not the most exciting buttons, but they're kind of this like really dark brown, which matches really well with the jacket. And I got little ones for the sleeves and, sorry, I'm watching the London Marathon, and big ones for the front. I also think that the front pockets have been sewn shut and no one's ever opened them. They kind of just tacked shut. So I'm gonna see if there's pockets, and if there isn't, then I will just sew some pocket inserts and just add those, because I think it's important to have functional pockets. Okay, it's raining, but I had to show it off. I had to show you how complete. I mean, it's pretty good. So we replaced the buttons. Just picked these ones out from Spotlight. And we've obviously then got our beautiful trim from House of Adorn. So cool. Yeah, so here she is.